Hello everyone, my name is Jokerlord and welcome to this Dead by Daylight guide. In this guide I will be telling you about the basics of Dead by Daylight. I probably won't go in depth with a lot of stuff since this guide is made for the newer players. With that being said, I hope you enjoy the video. In this video, I will be talking about the currencies, the tutorial, how you can earn blood points in Iridescent Shards, the Bloodweb, the Shrine of Secrets, the items, the offerings, and the archives. I will leave timestamps in the description for in case you want to skip to a specific part of the video. With that out of the way, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is the three main currencies in Dead by Daylight. First one being Auric Cells. These are purchased with real money in the in-game store. Auric cells can be spent on cosmetics, or you can buy a new character. Do note that all the chapters that get released can also be bought via the Steam store. But not all characters cost real money though. Only the licensed characters do. But what are licensed characters? Well, licensed characters are characters not originally created by Dead by Daylight themselves. Examples of licensed characters are the Demogorgon from Stranger Things, and the Ghostface from Scream, etc. Unlicensed characters can also be bought with the next currency on the list, Iridescent Shards. Iridescent Shards can be obtained by leveling your player account. For each level you rise, you will gain a set amount of shards. But I will come back to the Iridescent Shards and player level in a moment. Moving on to the last currency, Bloodpoints. When you haven't yet, you can play the Killer and Survivor tutorial. I highly recommend these since they give you a basic understanding of both Killer and Survivor. Also, when completing these tutorials, they each reward you with 25,000 blood points, which jumpstarts your progress. You can find the tutorials by going to the Help and Tutorials tab. Here you can find both Killer and Survivor tutorial. A way to earn even more blood points is by completing daily rituals. These are daily objectives you can complete for bonus blood points. You can have up to a maximum of 3 daily rituals. You also have the option to replace a daily ritual with a new one if you so please. But you can only replace 1 ritual per day. There are rituals for both Survivor and Killer, and the blood point reward varies from ritual to ritual. But normally, you will only be rewarded blood points for doing different things in-game, and the amount is based off the different actions you do. There are 4 categories you will get awarded blood points for. For Survivor, these are Objective, Survival, Altruism, and Boldness. Objective points are gained from completing objectives such as repairing generators, opening the exit gates, and so on. Survival points are gained for doing actions that ensure your survival, such as wiggling out of the killer's grasp, healing yourself, and of course, escaping the trial. Altruism is gained by helping your teammates, such as healing them or unhooking them from the hooks. Now for the last category, Boldness, you can earn boldness points by cleansing the various totems found around the map. These totems are the things made from bones, if you didn't know, more about them later. Escaping a killer chase, stunning the killer with a pallet, or simply by being in the killer's terror radius also rewards you in the boldness category. So basically, you gain boldness points when you interact with the killer and its belongings. If you don't know what the killer's terror radius is, it is the heartbeat you hear when a killer is getting closer. For most killers this is 32 meters, but this varies from killer to killer and if they are using perks or add-ons that suppresses or changes their terror radius. Now for the killer categories. You have Brutality, Deviousness, Hunter, and Sacrifice. To earn blood points in the Brutality category, you will have to hurt survivors or destroy objects like pallets, walls, and even kicking generators. Deviousness is earned by using your killer power. Examples are throwing hatchets, blinking, setting traps, stalking, ambushing, etc. Hunter points are achieved by finding, chasing, and hunting the survivors. And for the last category, Sacrifice, you will earn points by hooking or killing survivors on sacrificial hooks. Keep in mind that in each category you can only get a maximum of 8,000 blood points. This means that without offerings or perks that boost your blood point gains, you can only get a maximum of 32,000 blood points per game. Remember when I was talking about those totems earlier? Well, totems basically in and of itself don't do a whole lot. when a killer is using a so-called Hex perk, one of these dual totems on the map will become lit up during the trial. There are always 5 totems on the map, and cleansing the lit Hex totem will deactivate the associated Hex perk that the killer is using, leaving the killer with only 3 perks remaining or active, if they are using 4 perks that is. So whenever you activate the effects of a Hex perk, you will get notified which Hex perk the killer is using. There will also be a cursed icon on the right hand of your screen for as long as the Hex totem is active. Cleansing dual totems will grant you a total amount of 1000 blood points per totem cleansed, and cleansing a Hex totem will grant you a total amount of 1500 blood points. A quick example. Okay, let's say the killer is using Barbecue and Chili, Brutal Strength, Sloppy Butcher, and Hex Ruin. Because the killer is using a Hex perk, Hex Ruin in this case, one random totem on the map will become lit and becomes a Hex totem. When a survivor cleanses the Hex totem, a loud sound is played and the Hex perk becomes deactivated. However, cleansing dual totems isn't entirely useless. There is a Hex perk that turns a random dual totem that hasn't been cleansed yet into a Hex totem once all the generators are repaired. This perk is called Hex No One Escapes Death. This perk triggers the exposed status effect and lets the killer one down survivors, even if they are fully healed. Talking about status effects, these are another mechanic in the game. Different status effects get triggered by different things. For example, the status effect Mangled occurs when a killer hits you with his weapon while he is using the perk Sloppy Butcher. Mangled means that it will take more time to get healed. Not all status effects last forever though. Some status effects are time-based and will go away after some time, while others only go away if what is causing them is removed, like the status effect Cursed. This one will go away once the totem that is causing it is cleansed. If you want to read a bit more into the different status effects, because I can't talk about them all, that would take too long, I suggest you go to the Help and Tutorials tab. Here you can find more information about the different status effects and also about other aspects of the game. Let's quickly go over the last game mechanic in this video, the hatch. The hatch is an alternative escape for survivors. The hatch can spawn when the amount of survivors still remaining in the trial plus 1 generator gets repaired. This means that if there are 4 survivors still in the trial, all 5 generators need to be repaired in order for the hatch to spawn. If there are 3 survivors remaining, you would need to finish 4 generators and so on. Once the hatch has spawned, survivors can open it with a dull key or a skeleton key. Or alternatively, the hatch will always spawn and open when there is only 1 survivor remaining in the trial. If the hatch is open, the killer can close the hatch if he finds it, and the endgame collapse will instantly begin. Okay, so when you finish your first trial, you will be brought to the tally screen or end screen. Here you can see how many blood points you've earned in each category. After that comes your rank. Your survivor rank is shared across all your survivors, and your killer rank is shared across all killers. You start at rank 20, and rank 1 is the highest rank. Every month on the 13th, your rank will reset to the previous color. To rank up, there are 4 categories you need to score points in. In each category, you can earn emblems. These emblems go from no emblem, bronze emblem, silver emblem, gold emblem, to iridescent emblem. The higher the emblem you score in a specific category, the more score you will achieve to getting a pip. As you can see, each rank in Dead by Daylight has these little check marks, if you will. Once you've reached the amount of pips for your rank, you will rank up. These pips are earned by getting emblems in different categories. You can earn points towards these emblems by doing different actions in a trial. For Survivor they are Lightbringer, Unbroken, Benevolent, and Evader. Let's start off with Lightbringer. The Lightbringer emblem represents your participation in generator repairs. Successfully cleansing both dull and hex totems and opening exit gates also grants points towards this emblem. All generator repair progress other survivors make while you are in a chase with a killer will also contribute a small amount of points towards this emblem. The next category is Unbroken. The Unbroken emblem represents your ability to survive. Escaping a trial without being downed results in an iridescent quality, while being downed 1 or more times results in a gold quality. If you die in a trial, the emblem quality is based on the amount of time you're alive. However, the highest quality you will receive in this manner is silver. The benevolent emblem represents how altruistic you and your team are during a trial. The first 2 times each survivor is hooked, all survivors lose points. Safely unhooking them returns the points back to all survivors that still remain in the trial. And the survivor performing the action also receives bonus points. An unsafe hook rescue results in a loss of points for the survivor performing the action. Other altruistic actions such as healing, making a killer drop a survivor, and taking a hit while a survivor is being carried also grants points. Now for the last category, Evader. The Evader emblem represents your ability to stay hidden from the killer, or to be able to win chases against them. You win points by remaining unnoticed by the killer. The closer you are, the higher the points. You also win points if you escape a chase without getting hit. The longer the chase, the higher the points. Every 15 seconds you secure your points. However, you will only receive half of the points if you lose the chase. Successful pallet stunts also grants bonus points to Bois' emblem. The killer rank categories are Gatekeeper, Devout, Malicious, and Chaser. The Gatekeeper emblem is won by slowing down generator repair progress for as long as possible. You win points every second based on the amount of incomplete generators remaining on the map. Ending the trial with incomplete generators also grants bonus points towards this emblem. The Devout emblem represents your ability to sacrifice and kill survivors. Each survivor eliminated from the trial grants points. Sacrifices, memento moris, and reverse bear trap kills grant the same amount of points. No points are awarded for survivors that bleed out. Next is the Malicious emblem. This emblem represents your ability to apply pressure on survivors and prevent them from helping each other. You win points by hurting, interrupting, and downing survivors, and you will lose points when they get healed. Points are also awarded each time a survivor is hooked, which are not lost when the survivor is unhooked. And now for the last emblem, the Chaser emblem. This emblem represents your ability to find and chase survivors. You win a few points each time you find a survivor, and you will also win points by winning the chase. The shorter the chase, the higher the points. Underneath your earned emblems, you can see a bar made up of rectangles. On this bar you can see a black pip and 2 red pips. Each level of emblem you gain counts as 1. This means that no emblem rewards you with 0 rectangles, a bronze emblem rewards you with 1 rectangle, silver rewards you with 2, gold with 3, and iridescent with 4. This way you build up your progress towards the pips. If you don't reach the black pip, you will lose one of your pips. If you manage to reach the black pip, this means that you are safe. You don't lose any of your pips, but you don't gain any either. If you manage to reach the first red pip, you will gain 1 pip. If you manage to reach the second red one, you will gain 2. As you can see in this example, I've got Gold Gatekeeper, this counts for 3. I've also got Silver Devout, which counts as 2. Then I have Gold Malicious, which is also 3. And the last emblem is Iridescent Chaser, which counts as 4. As you can see, I got further than the black pip, but I couldn't get to the first red pip. On the next tab of the tally screen, you can also see how much experience points you've earned towards your next player level. The player level represents a player's overall progression on their account. Every character that you play contributes to your player account level. Experience points are how you level up your account. They are obtained after each trial and are calculated depending on the following factors. Time played in the trial. 1 XP is gained by every second you stay in the trial, and by the highest emblem quality. 18 experience for obtaining at least 1 iridescent emblem, 12 experience for obtaining at least 1 gold emblem, and 6 experience for obtaining at least 1 silver emblem. There's also a first game of the day bonus, which is 300 experience that can be obtained for either side for completing the first trial of the day. Passing level 99 will reset your account back to level 1 and gives you a devotion level. This is pretty much prestiging your account. When you finish your first trial and you receive some blood points, you can go and spend these blood points in any character's Bloodweb to obtain perks, offerings, and add-ons for your items. Perks give a character special abilities meant to facilitate fulfilling their respective objective. Perks are used by both the killer and the survivors. They grant an individual bonus and once unlocked, will never be lost. Players can choose up to 4 perks per trial, assuming that all perk slots have been unlocked, which is dependent on their character's level. At level 5, you will unlock your second perk slot, on level 10 your third, and on level 15 your fourth. At level 10, the entity will start to appear in your Bloodweb and will start to consume parts of it. The Bloodweb can go up to level 50. Also, all survivors and killers have 3 teachable perks. These perks will appear in your Bloodweb at level 30, 35, and 40. If you collect them, they will be unlocked. By unlocking these perks in your character's Bloodweb, you will be able to get these perks in other characters' Bloodwebs. After reaching level 50, you can prestige your character and gain a bloody cosmetic. Or, you can keep spending blood points in the Bloodweb, but you won't go above level 50. Once you prestige, you will lose all your perks, add-ons, offerings, and items. If you have unlocked the teachable perks for that character, the perks will stay unlocked. These will not get locked again once you prestige. You can prestige up to prestige level 3. After that, you won't be able to prestige anymore, but of course you can still spend blood points in the Bloodweb. An alternative way to get teachable perks is through the Shrine of Secrets. The Shrine of Secrets is another section of the in-game store. Here you can buy teachable perks even from characters you don't own. There are always 4 perks up for sale, and after 7 days the Shrine of Secrets resets and new perks will be up for grabs. If you buy a perk that you already have, you will receive some blood points instead. Let's quickly talk a little more about the different items and offerings you have at your disposal. I will start off with the items and their purpose. First, we have the toolbox. The toolbox is used for repairing generators a little faster for a short duration, and is also used for sabotaging hooks. Next up, we have the medkit. The medkit is used to heal yourself or other survivors more efficiently, and it is also faster. Next is the flashlight. The flashlight is used for blinding the killer. You can save a teammate if you can blind the killer at just the right time when he is picking a survivor up. Next are the keys. Keys can be used in combination with some add-ons to read auras of other survivors, or even the killer. The ultra rare skeleton key and the very rare dull key can be used to open the escape hatch. And for the last item, the map. The map is used to track generators, hooks, totems, etc. When you use the map, it will show you the auras of the things you tracked. All these items have charges, which means that it will get used up after using them for a while. If you completely use one of your items up during a trial, you will not lose the item, but you will instead take it back to the campfire. If you die, your item will drop and another survivor can pick it up if they want to. On all these items you can put add-ons, which gives your items more charges, meaning they will last longer, or some add-ons let you do the actions more efficiently. Some add-ons can even add more usability to your item, like for example on a standard map you can track generators, but if you put the glass bead add-on on your map, you will then be able to place light beacons in the trial. Now for the different types of offerings. They are used to influence the entity in how it will shape the maps and or grant a special ability or reward. They are burnt in the campfire and thus offered to the entity unless there are offerings that conflict with each other. Unlike perks, offerings are permanently lost after they are used. Each character can receive offerings from their Bloodweb. Let's start off with the Bloodpoint offerings. These increase the amount of bonus blood points. Most of these offerings only reward you in one category, and most are personal, meaning that only the person that offered them will gain a bonus. All the blood point offerings stack, meaning that if someone were to offer an offering that isn't personal, your offering would stack with that one, giving you a higher bonus. The next offerings are the luck offerings. They can all stack amongst each other and increase the luck of just one or all survivors. The next offerings affect the number of chests that will spawn throughout the map. Cut coin and scratched coin can be offered by the killer to lower the amount of chests that spawn, while survivors can offer tarnished coin and shiny coin to increase the amount of chests that spawn. Next are the fog offerings. These affect the amount and thickness of the fog on the map. These can also be used by both killer and survivor. Next are the hook offerings. The killer can burn these offerings to decrease the distance between hooks. The survivor, on the other hand, can use a petrified oak, which slightly increases the distance between hooks. Next are the map offerings. These can be offered by both survivor and killer, and when burned, they increase the chance of being sent to a specific realm. The next offerings are the Shrouds. These affect spawn locations of the survivors. They cannot stack and are not revealed when burned, as they all carry the secret tag. They are all exclusive to survivors, with the exception of the Shroud of Separation, which only the killers can have. The last offerings I'm going to be talking about are the Moris. These offerings are unique to killer and grant the ability to kill one or all survivors, depending on which Mori, by their own hands during the trial, when certain requirements are met. A quick little side note, if you ever want to read a bit more specific into certain offerings, perks, and so on, you can always hover over them and it will give you all the information. Okay, so much for Bloodwebs, Bloodpoints, and offerings and all that other stuff. Let's move on to the last subject of this guide, the Archives. The Archives is where you can do challenges and get awarded Bloodpoints, Rift Fragments, and more character lore for completing these challenges. Rift Fragments help you progress through the Rift and are earned, like I said, by completing challenges or by gaining experience. Rift lets you unlock all kinds of cosmetics for your character. In the Rift, you have a free track and a premium track. The premium track costs 1000 Orc cells, but this track has a lot more cosmetics to unlock. Each dome has 4 levels filled with challenges to complete. Some challenges can be completed over multiple games, while others have to be completed in one game. If you want to take a look at older tomes, you can go to the Compendium. Here you will find all the previous tomes. Note that you will only get Rift Fragments if you complete the challenges for the current active tome. Okay, that was everything I wanted to talk about in this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this guide was helpful. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the fog.